The night was eerily quiet, the kind of stillness that clung to the air like a heavy fog. No one was around to witness the ordinary miracle about to unfold in the decaying remains of what was once a bustling roller skating rink, a place that echoed with laughter, music, and the buzzing energy of life. But now, it lay in ruins, a forgotten relic of the past. A chill ran down the spine of the only soul brave enough to venture here, Caroline Mitchell, a 34-year-old single mother of two. Clad in a faded denim jacket and worn-out jeans, Caroline stepped through the gaping hole that used to be the entrance, her heart pounding with both fear and exhilaration. She had spent most of her savings, $400, on this dilapidated property, a gamble that could either rescue her from the grips of poverty or plunge her deeper into despair. With every creak of the rotting wooden floor, memories of her children, Oliver and Mia, flashed before her eyes, reminding her of the dreams she had for their future. "Imagine a place where you can have fun, where we can be happy again," she whispered to herself, her voice barely audible over the whispering wind that swept through the empty hall. She could already see the potential. The rickety stage where local bands could play, the empty snack bar that could serve hot chocolate and popcorn, and the vast open space where families could spend quality time together. But Caroline was not alone. Shadows lurked in the corners of her mind, the worries that had plagued her for years. Chief among them was Victor Holloway, a ruthless developer who had his eyes set on this very land. Victor had been eyeing the area for months, his plans to turn the dilapidated rink into a luxury apartment complex inching closer to fruition. He was the villain in Caroline's story, a man whose greed overshadowed any sense of community or compassion. He didn't care about the memories held within these crumbling walls. All he saw was opportunity, an opportunity that Caroline threatened to disrupt. The stakes were high. For Caroline, this was more than just a business venture. It was a lifeline. If she could breathe life into this place, it could mean security for her family. But if Victor got to it first, all her hopes would be crushed, along with the spirits of the families who once called this place home. The thought of losing it all ignited a fire within her, a fierce determination that made her grip her phone tighter as she walked deeper into the darkness. As she made her way through the remnants of the rink, a glint of metal caught her eye. It was the DJ booth, a towering structure cloaked in dust and cobwebs. Caroline felt an inexplicable pull towards it, as if the booth were calling her name. She approached cautiously, brushing aside layers of grime that had settled over the years. Her heart raced. Was it possible that, in this neglect, something valuable lay hidden? "Please let there be something," she whispered fervently, her fingers trembling as she searched for a way inside. The booth was locked tight, but the hunger for answers gnawed at her gut. Caroline pressed her ear against the cold metal, listening for anything that might indicate what had been left behind. Silence reigned, yet she could almost feel the echoes of music that once pulsed through this space. What she didn't know was that the stakes were about to rise even higher. She fumbled with the lock, feeling the weight of desperation pressing down on her. Suddenly, a flicker of movement caught her attention. The shadows shifted, and Caroline's heart lurched as she turned to see a pair of piercing eyes watching her from the entrance. It was Victor Holloway, his presence as imposing as the high ceilings of the rink. "Caroline Mitchell," he said, his voice smooth like silk yet dripping with malice. "I see you've taken quite an interest in my future property." The bravado she had mustered moments ago began to crumble as she faced him. "It's not yours yet, Victor. I bought it fair and square." Victor chuckled darkly, stepping closer until she could smell the sharp scent of his cologne mixed with the stale air of the abandoned rink. "Fair? Oh, my dear Caroline, that's a quaint notion. You think $400 will protect you from the very real cash flow I can generate from this land? You're playing a dangerous game." She felt a shiver of fear wash over her, but she refused to back down. "I'm not afraid of you. This place deserves a second chance. I won't let you tear it down." The tension crackled in the air, a standoff that echoed the battle lines being drawn. Caroline could sense the weight of the moment, the lines of their lives intersecting in this desolate space. But beyond the battle for the rink, there lay an even deeper mystery waiting to be uncovered. As Caroline turned back to the DJ booth, a thought struck her. What if there was more than just nostalgia buried beneath the surface? What if this place held secrets that could not only save her but clout that could send ripples through Victor's plans? She needed to find out. Just remember, Caroline? Victor called after her, a mocking tone lacing his voice. You might think you can win this fight, but I hold all the cards. Unbeknownst to him, Caroline had yet to uncover the most significant card of all. She would not only have to fight for her dream but also unravel the mysteries that lay hidden in the very foundations of this place. A treasure that could change everything. If she survived the twisted game Victor was determined to play. As she knelt before the locked DJ booth, the stakes felt impossibly high, and the looming shadows of Victor hollowed her resolve. What lay within those walls could be the difference between survival and a reality she feared to face. Caroline took a deep breath as she stared at the locked DJ booth, her heart pounding like the bass lines that once filled this roller skating rink. The air was thick with tension, a heavy weight pressing down on her as she felt the specter of Victor looming nearby. His presence was like a storm cloud, dark and intimidating, threatening to burst at any moment. She had come too far and sacrificed too much to let him intimidate her now. Just a simple lock, she whispered to herself, trying to summon her courage. Caroline reached for the small crowbar she had managed to find among the debris littered around the rink. It was a flimsy tool, but it was all she had. She could almost hear Victor's mocking voice in her head, taunting her. You really think you can get in there, Caroline? You're just a single mum chasing a foolish dream. But this wasn't just a dream anymore. It was a chance for a new beginning, a way out of the suffocating financial struggles that had haunted her since the day her husband left. She had poured every ounce of savings into this place, a dilapidated rink that was now her responsibility. With a surge of determination, she positioned the crowbar against the lock and applied pressure. Suddenly, the door swung open, and Caroline nearly stumbled inside, catching herself just in time. The DJ booth was cloaked in shadows, memories swirling around her like echoes from another time. Dust motes danced in the dim light, illuminating a space that had held countless moments of joy and laughter. Her heart raced as she stepped closer, and her fingers brushed against the console, feeling the cold metal beneath her touch. What are you doing in here, Caroline? Victor's voice cut through the silence, sharp and menacing. He stood at the entrance, arms crossed, his expression smug and self-satisfied. The glare from the flickering overhead light cast shadows across his face, making him look even more sinister. You really think you can just waltz in and take what's not yours? Her stomach twisted, but she steadied herself, refusing to show fear. This rink is mine now, Victor. I have as much right to be here as you do. Maybe more. She took a step forward, but Victor remained rooted, a physical embodiment of the obstacles she had faced her entire life. Oh, sweetheart, you're in over your head, he said, a patronizing tone dripping from his words. These bonds you're after? They're my ticket to a better life. You think I'll let some single mum ruin my plans? His eyes glinted with malice, the threat palpable in the air between them. Caroline's pulse quickened as she fought to compose herself. She needed to outsmart him to take control of this situation. You won't find out until I do, she shot back, her voice steadier than she felt. I'm not afraid of you, Victor. Feisty, aren't we? He replied, stepping inside the booth and leaning against the console. But let's not pretend you're in charge here. This is my territory, and trust me, I have no qualms about getting rid of you if it comes to that. His smile was chilling, and Caroline felt her resolve waver for a moment. Why don't you just let me take what's inside? She countered, keeping her tone calm. There's plenty for both of us, right? You're a businessman, not some petty thief. Victor's laughter echoed in the booth, a sound void of warmth. You really think I'm just going to hand over a fortune? You're naive. I have my own plans for this place. Caroline narrowed her gaze, a flicker of panic igniting within her. You're going to destroy this place, aren't you? You're just waiting for the right moment to cash in on it all. The smugness melted from Victor's face, replaced by a flash of irritation. You're smarter than I gave you credit for, Caroline. But that won't save you. You've built a pretty little dream here, but dreams don't pay the bills. She shifted her weight, the weight of his words pressing down on her. Every inch of her screamed at her to back down, to flee from the confrontation. But she stood her ground, the reality of her situation galvanizing her. I won't back down, Victor. I'll fight for what's rightfully mine. His expression darkened, and Caroline felt the air crackle with tension. You think you can take me on? This is just a game of chess, Caroline, and I always play to win. As he stepped closer, a new resolve surged through her. She had come too far to let him intimidate her. What if I challenge you? The words slipped out before she could second-guess them. Victor raised an eyebrow, intrigued and bemused. Challenge me? To what? A duel? No, she said, her mind racing. Let's make a deal. You back off and I'll give you half of whatever's in that booth. Just let me have the chance to see for myself. Half? He scoffed, clearly amused. You think I'll settle for that? You don't even know what's in there. Then why are you so eager to keep me out? Caroline shot back, feeling a rush of adrenaline. What do you have to lose? Fine, he replied, crossing his arms. But I want a guarantee. If you find nothing of value, you'll leave this place. Forever. She hesitated, weighing her options. The stakes were higher than she had anticipated. And if I find something, then we'll split it. But know this, Caroline. I won't let you walk away with anything that's rightfully mine. You may think you're clever, but I'll always be one step ahead. Then let's see what's inside, Caroline countered, determination hardening her resolve as she stepped towards the DJ booth once again, feeling the tumultuous waves of fear and hope surge within her. The confrontation with Victor had ignited a fierce fire within her, and for the first time, she felt in control of her destiny. Caroline took a deep breath, her heart racing as she approached the DJ booth with a mix of trepidation and anticipation. Victor, still lingering in the shadows, watched her every move, the corners of his mouth curling into a mocking grin. You really think you can just waltz in and take what's mine, don't you? He sneered, crossing his arms defiantly. I'm not here to take anything that doesn't belong to me, Victor, Caroline firmly replied, her voice steady, despite the storm of emotions swirling inside her. But if there's something of value here, it's mine by right. I bought this place, remember? Victor's expression darkened, the facade of confidence beginning to crack. You have no idea what you're dealing with. That safe is a gateway to things you can't even comprehend. With a swift motion, Caroline reached for the latch of the DJ booth, her fingers trembling slightly. She hesitated for a moment, stealing a glance back at Victor. His eyes glittered with a mix of anger and fear. What are you so afraid of? She demanded, sensing his hesitation. If it's just money, what's the big deal? Money isn't everything, he retorted, but the quiver in his voice betrayed him. It was clear to Caroline that there was more to the story, more than just wealth hidden behind steel and locks. With a decisive twist, Caroline flung open the DJ booth's compartment, revealing the battered but intact safe. The dim light illuminated the dust that had settled over the years, but there was something undeniably alluring about the mystery that lay within. Her pulse quickened as she knelt down, glancing at Victor, who was now uncharacteristically silent, his bravado dissipating. "Help me open it," she said, her voice softer but laced with urgency. "We can figure this out together, you and I." Victor's eyes widened in disbelief. "You would really share whatever's in there? I'm not interested in keeping it all to myself." Caroline replied, resolute. This was never just about money for me. It's about building a future for my children, showing them that they can rise from the ashes. Victor hesitated, the battle within him evident. The glimmer of hope in Caroline's eyes seemed to shift something inside him, and after a long pause, he stepped forward, albeit cautiously. Fine, let's see what's inside. He finally conceded, a hint of vulnerability cracking through his hardened exterior. Together, they worked on the rusty mechanism of the safe. As they twisted the dial in unison, Caroline could feel a connection forming between them, bridging the chasm of animosity that had defined their relationship. With one final click, the safe creaked open, revealing stacks of aged bonds, their worth far beyond what Caroline had anticipated. As she stared down at the treasure, disbelief washed over her. $234 million in bonds, she breathed, her voice barely above a whisper. The weight of the moment hung heavy in the air. Victor looked as if he might faint. We're rich, he said, his tone a mixture of shock and awe. What are we going to do with this? Caroline's heartbeat thundered in her ears as reality set in. The immediate consequence of their discovery hit hard. Hours later, Caroline found herself hunched over paperwork, meticulously navigating the process to redeem the bonds. With Victor at her side, they formed an unlikely alliance, working late into the night. Their partnership soon thrived. Victor, though initially reluctant, proved to have skills in investment and negotiation, and together they established a plan to invest wisely. Caroline envisioned a future where she could afford a proper home for her children, one filled with laughter and love, free from the shadows of uncertainty. As weeks turned into months, Caroline and Victor became business partners in more ways than one. They used their newfound wealth to invest in a community center, breathing life back into the dilapidated roller skating rink, transforming it into a hub for families and children. In the medium term, their success rippled through the community. Caroline's children enjoyed a stable home, free from the hardships they had previously faced. The center became a sanctuary for local youth, offering them a safe space to grow and learn. Caroline's passion for building a better future inspired others in the community, igniting a series of initiatives aimed at upliftment and engagement. Victor, no longer the antagonistic figure he once was, became a father figure not just to Caroline's children but to many others in the community. His presence shifted from a self-serving businessman to a mentor, guiding young people in their dreams and aspirations. Years passed, and the once-abandoned roller skating rink thrived anew. Caroline's vision had become a reality, transforming not only her life but also the lives of countless others. The safe, once a symbol of conflict, had become a catalyst for change, its treasures forging connections where discord had once ruled. In the long term, Caroline and Victor's partnership evolved into a deep friendship, marked by shared experiences and mutual respect. The bonds of their past conflicts became threads in a woven tapestry of community and generosity. They stood together, proud of what they had accomplished, each carrying an unwavering hope for the future. The roller skating rink, once a forgotten relic, now echoed with the joy of laughter and camaraderie, serving as a living testament to resilience and the power of forgiveness. As Caroline gazed out over the bustling scene, she knew that the journey had only just begun, a journey that would continue to shape lives for years to come.